Hi, I'm Robert McCune, Managing Editor with Hotel News Now. I'm here at the NYU Investment Hospitality Conference with Tyler Morse, CEO and founder of MCR Development.
How you doing, Robert?
Very good. Thanks for being here with us.
My pleasure.
So we are obviously in Manhattan.
We are.
which means that there is an opportunity for a lot of people coming to this conference, if they hadn't seen it already, to see a project that you're very excited about.
Yeah, the TWA Hotel. We just opened 2 weeks ago. Hopefully people flew into JFK Airport and got to take a walk around and check out the TWA Hotel.
So obviously a very unique project in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm.
Unique in design, unique in that it has a great story to tell, obviously.
Yeah.
And those things enable your company and the property to do some things that are pretty enviable, I think, in the industry. And that's operate as a truly independent without that brand oversight and presence, and also to sort of control your own distribution in a lot of ways, and not have to rely on that OTA systems fees to get the guests. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. So it is a very unique project, and I think if you think about the 3 Ds, design, development, and distribution, we got the opportunity to be unique in each one of those categories. So the building was designed by Eero Saarinen. It's one of the most extraordinary buildings in America and one of the most important historic buildings in America. Was built by Howard Hughes, designed by Eero Saarinen. Howard Hughes owned TWA at the time. But we have a 200,000 square foot lobby at the TWA Hotel. We have 8 restaurants and 6 bars, a rooftop pool deck, lots of interesting features as a part of our lobby and as a part of the site. And then from a development standpoint, we dealt with 22 government agencies. And that was, of course, unique, and there were a lot of challenges and twists and turns in the development path. But we were very happy to have completed the construction of the project in about 2.5 years, so right on schedule. And then on the distribution side of the equation, we are not on the OTAs and we're not on the GDS. So we're selling rooms at TWAHotel.com. And we are an independent, so we don't have a brand system, a central res delivery system backing us up. So, there's a lot of latent demand at JFK Airport, and there's a lot of interest in the TWA Hotel. Just a couple of days ago, we had a couple of guests drive 6 hours just to stay at the TWA Hotel and then drive 6 hours back just because they were excited to see the project and experience all of the attributes of it. So it's a very unique product from a lot of different standpoints.
Yeah, and I want to talk a little bit about that true independent spirit that you have going on there. Obviously, you have branded and independent hotels.
Sure.
And obviously, this is a project that's a little different in scope than what you might see typically in the independent space.
Yeah.
But storytelling is always important for independents. Can you talk a little bit about what you think other independents may be able to emulate from this project? And do you see them having that opportunity, that same opportunity, to exercise sort of that independent muscle?
Yeah, I think we have a lot of je ne sais quoi at TWA, and storytelling is a key component of that. We did that at the Highline Hotel, which is an independent that we own and operate in West Chelsea in Manhattan. And storytelling is very important there as well. And I think that any independent hotel today, there are greater opportunities to be independent. You don't need a brand system if there's latent demand for the product in places like Manhattan, at airports, on airports, places, hotels right next to medical centers, and that kind of thing. I think people are interested in the je ne sais quoi and the stories that are behind a hotel, and they're willing to pay a price premium to be a part of something a little more interesting, right? The branded products are great. We have a lot of those in our portfolio, but there's a different product for different markets, and they're not all the same. They don't need to be all the same. The opportunities for independence are greater than ever.
What are some other areas, some other stories out there as you're looking at projects and to get involved with. What are some of the storytelling elements that you're looking for in particular? What attracts you to something, and that je ne sais quoi? What is it, and how does it manifest itself in a lot of projects that you're seeing?
I think you have to tap into the consumer psychology and the zeitgeist and give them a wow, right? And people say, whoa, that's a cool hotel. I didn't even realize that hotel was there or had those features or attributes. What I always think about is, so you check into a hotel and then you go to dinner with a friend. And what do you say to your friend? Your friend says, hey, where are you staying? And you say, I'm staying at X hotel. Then do you go on and continue and say, you're not going to believe, but it has this and it has this, and did you know that it was built by these guys and has this story to it, and you're not going to believe what was in my room? Or does the conversation die there? Do you just say, I'm staying at X, and then move on to the next, right? You got to give the story, and then you got to communicate the story to the guest so that they have a little wow moment, right? It's a life experience that they wouldn't have otherwise had if they had stayed in, say, a branded hotel that was more of a cookie cutter product.
I'll go back just a minute. You talked about the process for the TWA Hotel in particular, and how complicated, obviously, it was, dealing with a lot of different red tape, a lot of different government agencies there. But obviously, it hasn't dissuaded you in any way. It hasn't. You've come out of it pretty well. What would you say are some of the lessons that you learned from that process, and how are you applying that to strategy across the company?
So a lot of people said that I was crazy for taking on the TWA project. I had breakfast with Mike Bloomberg, and he said, Tyler, don't do this. You're crazy. This is too complicated. But it's such an extraordinary building. And, it really spoke to me. And I said, damn the torpedoes. And, let's do this anyway. And I think we took on some risk in doing this project. But I like to think that it was a manageable amount of risk, and it was a risk that we could assess and we could manage through. So it took more time and had more nuances, but I knew it wasn't going to be a straight line when I got into this.